Hey there, race fans. It's race day top 5 with me, Frank 5. The biggest race of the NASCAR season starts tomorrow. I'm pumped, and I'm sure everybody else out there is pumped as well. And we already had some preliminary events and the other series events to start off this whole racing season. And boy, let me tell you, it's the beginning of something bigger tomorrow. Number 1. The first Can-Am duel at Daytona was run Thursday night, and it was won by Ryan Blaney. I don't think anybody predicted him to win that duel. They predicted Logano or Keselowski to win. But anyways, Ryan Blaney, surprised me too. But, he's really good at the draft, and this proves that he's got a good car and a good chance to win the Daytona 500. Blaney was, sitting, third in line, second in line most of the race between Logano and Keselowski, just following along with them, with other incidents happening behind them that took out Jimmy Johnson, William Byron, Eric Almirola, all of those guys. And then towards the end, Brad Keselowski wrecked, which, not fun for that team. They got to roll out a backup car and start at the back, but don't expect him to be there for long. But Blaney was able to hold off his teammate Joey Logano, and his best friend, Bubba Wallace Jr., almost became the best friends 1-2 finish. Bubba Wallace, people, is possibly the biggest underdog. Maybe not even an underdog anymore. He's now a threat to win the Daytona 500 his performance. And I got to tell you, I think Bubba Wallace could shock the world if he wins this big race on Sunday. Number 2, Chase Elliott won his second Can-Am duel, second year in a row. Even though it wasn't duel 1, it was still a duel, and we'll start 4th in the Daytona 500 on Sunday. So, we were starting mid-pack, got a little bit of an incident with Eric Jones, which, I apologize, Eric Jones fans, but it's the product of, no ride heights in the back of these cars are really loose when someone else gets under your back bumper and it takes the air away. You can't help it, so we apologize, but we grabbed the lead, for the rest of the duel, and we were able to hold off the Fords and Denny Hamlin, who had, nothing to gain because he was starting on the front row, and if he wrecked his car, he has to start at the back, so that didn't happen. But Chase was able to take great moves and block the Toyota of Hamlin and the Fords of Harvick and Clint Bowyer and Paul Menard, and was able to prove himself that he possibly can win his first NASCAR race in the Daytona 500, something he almost did 1 year ago, folks. I pray it happens tomorrow. I'm praying, and I hope this event really helped us to gain momentum for the race. Number 3, the NASCAR KB World Truck Series opener was last night, and boy, was it an exciting race, folks. What more could you ask for? The Ford F-150, the Toyota Tundra, the Chevy Silverado, 32 trucks strong, competing at it, side by side. There was a lead pack, there was a middle pack, a back pack, because you never know what could happen. The big one could happen at any time. Plus, the second year of the stage race, I think everybody knew we needed to be a little bit calm in this race. And then final stage, go like hell. So, and at the end, it was Johnny Sauter for the 3rd time winning this truck race, and a very emotional one, not only just for Johnny and the whole team, but for his crew chief, Joe Shearer Jr., who I'm sure some of you people may have heard. Not a great crew chief, but over the offseason, he unexpectedly lost his wife. So, praying for Joe Shearer, and hopefully this season this team can be a championship threat, which I already think so. No matter where they go, Johnny Sauter and Joe Shearer Jr. always seem to figure it out. So this season they're got Joe Shearer's wife on their mind, but continue strong and press on and go for a championship. That's all I can say, and I hope they do it this year. And we'll see what happens. Number 4, the Xfinity race today. What more could you ask for? Great racing, big wrecks towards the end, and the closest NASCAR finish in the history of the sport and any of the series. Tyler Reddick, who replaced William Byron in the car that won the championship last year, edged out my guy, Elliott Sadler, by 0.001 of a second. They were both like, oh, why can't we just tie them? Well, we had to have a winner. And I don't know if the tie was based on last year's 100 points, but, Tyler Reddick was barely in front of Elliott Sadler that much. I'm happy for Reddick, but I also wanted Elliott Sadler because he's been trying for so long at Daytona, and plus we don't know how much longer he's got left in his career. But nonetheless, great racing today, and I think it's a testament of what we're going to see for tomorrow. That brings me to number 5. Tomorrow is the Daytona 500. Alex Bowman, Denny Hamlin will lead the field to the green with the dual winners, Blaney and Chase Elliott, right behind them. And then you got front runners up towards the front like Joey Logano and Paul Menard and Kevin Harvick. And in the middle of the pack, you've got Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon and Danica Patrick in their final 500. And towards the back, Brad Keselowski, Jimmy Johnson, William Byron, and Kyle Larson. I don't expect them to be back there for long. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do on Sunday. So who's going to win the biggest race of the year tomorrow? You got to tune into Fox or listen to the Motor Racing Network if you want to find out who's going to start off the season with a bang. Before I close up this video, I want to send my condolences to the victims of a school shooting in Florida, Parkland, Florida. They're saying like 15, 17 victims. I don't know the total number, but I feel really bad for those families. And, NASCAR and the invocations Thursday, Friday, and today all said, our hearts go out to those families. I'm sure it's going to be the same tomorrow. My heart goes out to those families, and, just keep them in your prayers, people. That's all I have to say. So I'm going to leave off with a nice, calm, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, enjoy the Daytona 500 tomorrow. Keep your prayers for the victims of the school shooting in your minds and in your hearts. And until then, I will see you tomorrow after the Great American Race.